So welcome to sunny Santiago. Here we are again, outside my residence, the residence premium Don Pedro. So the title of the live today is Cold Approach Selects for Truth. That's the title of the live today, Cold Approach Selects for Truth. I was going to do a live on something much more controversial. I was going to do a live on cold approach and selective breeding. That was actually going to be the topic of this live. It's something I thought about quite a bit, you know, attractiveness, genetics and so on, and kind of what we're doing. Oh my goodness, like let me get past this. What is going on here? Cement mixes. Hold on, let me get past these guys. What the hell's going on here? We get covered in cement. Oh my goodness. Jesus. The things we endure on these lives out in the wild. So yeah, I was going to do something about, you know, genetics and how, in a sense, like the more attractive you become as a man, the more in control you become of your genetic lineage, right? So you become a selective breeder, yeah? It's actually an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic. Oh my God, I'm being pursued by this fucking cement mixer. Give me a break, mate. I'm trying to do a live here. I'm trying to talk about cold approach. What are you doing? Just trying to build a house? Ay, pendeja mierda, tío. Oh, we've got another one. What the hell is going on? We've got a second one coming down the road. What is going on? So I was going to do a live on a different topic, on cold approach as a means of selective breeding. Of yes, my breeding program for Brothenia. When we established the Greek city-state, we have a breeding program. Yeah. But it's going to be based on your qualities as a man of the approach. This is what I mean by this country being noisy. Is there anyone in here? Just building shit, constant music. Mierda, pendejo, déjame en paz. Horrible. Anyone else? See if there's anyone in. Yeah, no one's talking yet, that's fine. So I was going to talk about that. I was going to talk about the selective breeding process, but it's a little bit weird, isn't it? And I might do a different video on it. I thought, let's just keep it a bit more grounded, a bit more useful, going off on these flights. And this was inspired by an approach I did yesterday. I'm gonna go back down here. So inspired by an approach I did yesterday in the mall, where it was most of the approach was being as truthful as I dared to be. That was most of the approach. So one of the things that guys are conditioned by in the modern world is this idea that you have to be XYZ in order to be attractive. You have to be whatever, you know, and you have to say, and more importantly, you have to say XYZ. You have to position yourself as XYZ in order to be attractive. You have to subtly brag about your, you know, this, that and the other. You have to show that you're a protector and a provider. Yeah, I understand all these things, right? They actually, some of them make sense, a lot of them don't. Some of them do make sense. And they overlook, though, the most basic thing, which is people who've got the balls to be truthful are some of the most charismatic and engaging people. You might have a friend in your group who is just the guy who always spits the truth, and they always are respected because of it. Everyone else is playing a little social game, let's not rock the boat, and there's a guy who just he's truthful. And then if he's able to maintain that around women as well, he's probably going to do quite well. He'll probably do fairly well around women, provided he's all right, you know, he's fairly attractive. So some guys who are actually very unattractive, the truth is the main thing that they pull with. It's the main thing that they pull with. They know how to get women turned on mentally, and they outgun the other guys just because they've got more balls. They've got the balls to actually tell the truth. Right, I'm going to go around another building site right now. I'm in the Dominican Republic. Anyone new on the live? I'm Joseph. On this channel, I talk about all things daytime, cold approach, relationship related. I'm trying to protect my eyes here, boys. Right now I'm in Santiago, Northern Dominican. And I'm doing it live every day this month. I'm already regretting making that commitment, but I'm going to do it every day this month. If I can do it around 2-3 p.m. UK time, that's what I'm going to try to do. I do have my own schedule though, so some days that's not going to be possible. That's what I'm going to shoot for anyway, but I will do at least one live a day. And yeah, we talk about how to approach women in a powerful but authentic way. And it's actually it's a practice that I do, not just at this point, not just to meet, you know, new women I want to meet, but also I actually continue to practice because I train other guys as well. And I even practice just to experiment, to see how far we can take this thing. So I have a little stroll around our neighborhood, guys. I'll show you around the hood, the barrio. And so the theme of this is truth. So there's technical things we talk about with something like cold approach, how to stop the girl, maintaining powerful eye contact. But the one that's in terms of conversation, when you are talking, being flirty, being playful, this is a good way to go. I would tend towards that. Look at some of these cars, by the way, not to be too ADHD, but these cars are actually road legal here. That's a road legal vehicle. They're fucking bugging. How much are they? It's called a Maverick. You know what? I'd actually like to buy one. That would be a... Yeah. Imagine showing up for your date in a Maverick. That'd be awesome. But yeah, just having the balls to be... I'll just do a little stroll down here. Just having the balls to be more truthful is so powerful and so attractive. And yeah, I'll just recount something from an approach I did yesterday, which was in the mall, and I've been easing my way into things in this new city. So when you're in a new environment, it does take some time to adapt, even if you're experienced. And yesterday I'd just been to the gym, I thought, I need to go to the mall anyway, there's always something I need to pick up. A supermarket or something. And while I'm there, let's get an approach in. I ended up going in for a girl who was, she was just sat alone, so it's a one sat, which is much easier than doubles and, oh Jesus, a stray dog. God, how much? Jesus Christ. Right. Which is a lot easier than going for girls like with groups of friends and mums and stuff. That can all be done, but I just couldn't really be asked to do it in the mall. It's just a lot more work, and I definitely favour solo sets if possible. And so she looked great. She was in the food area, the food court. It is a little outdoor area, and she had a dress on. She just looked really good, and I think she was doing selfies or something. I clocked her as I walked in, and I thought, yeah, I already know which one I'm going to approach. So as I walked back out, I went in for her, paid her a compliment. It's what you want to do. Start with a compliment. And I complimented her on her dress because it looked great. And it's obviously put a bit of effort into looking nice for them all. Green and white, kind of pattern dress, right? So the approach itself, as we go from there, my only strategy, my only tactic is just mostly telling the truth, having fun, being playful, but the main thing is displaying your attraction for the girl, displaying that attraction, not trying to shamefully sneak it in through the back door, not trying to shamefully, just pretend you would just, oh, I just wanted to be friends with you. Oh, actually, yeah, you are kind of nice. Oh, I just noticed. No, this is a bullshit way to do things. Women absolutely know it. Women absolutely know it. What do you take them for? They absolutely know that guys do that, and they probably don't understand that the reason guys do it, it's just shyness. It's just a feeling of shame. They've been beaten down, they've just been beaten down a little bit too much, maybe by life or society, and they just basically are too ashamed to just admit their attraction to the girl. So this is a little bit noisy, boys, but this is probably it's probably a little bit of an adventure, you know. If you're on your work break, you're in Europe on your work break or America, join me in these chaotic scenes. But yeah, it is mostly just shame, embarrassment, lack of self-confidence, the feeling that something is wrong. This is why guys go for the friendship angle first, and then they try and move it up. You actually can do that in a social circle. I wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done. In cold approach, that's impossible. You can't do it. Your intentions have to be pretty obvious with daytime approach. It's not a place you want to hide. And this is what I love about it, and this is why I do it. Because it cures me of all of those hang-ups that I used to have, and all of that shame that I used to, I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's childhood, maybe it's you get ridiculed, when you go for a girl when you're like 10 years old, it doesn't work out, you don't know what you're doing, your dad doesn't fucking teach you, no one teaches you, and the only feedback you get is ridicule from your mates. And yeah, I do think society is very subtly trying to shame heterosexual men. Not even subtly, actually. So there's all this going on. So I find it a very curative process to go out and just be truthful to the girl. Hey, excuse me, you look absolutely amazing today. Yeah, this dress looks sensational. Usually it's a positive response to that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, do you mind if I take a seat? Yeah. And then we go from there. And in the interaction itself, it was basically just me mostly telling the truth. We had a great first date. I was with this girl for about an hour, and we just sat in the outdoor area of the food court. Absolutely beautiful, nice evening weather, and we're talking about life. We started talking about everything. She was talking about how many children she wants to have. I told her, realistically, I would love to have like 10 wives and 80 children, and if I was an Ottoman Sultan, I would 100% do that. But given the limitations that as an English guy, I actually have to support my children, or at least I have to make some kind of an attempt to. Not always the case with Dominican guys. But yeah, so I said probably I would just end up doing it with one woman. We kind of had a bit of a laugh about it all, really. But it was a very truthful conversation. And also, because I'm maintaining eye contact and flirting as well, it's kind of the whole context is, hey, this is cool. This is really cool. And the main thing for me was, even in that interaction now, was kind of, you'd be surprised how much your instinct can be to disguise your attraction to the girl. You'd be surprised how much that can be the case. There was a little instinct in me that was fighting that reflex to slightly hide my attraction to the girl, and I was overcoming that in that particular interaction. That thing comes and goes, and it's I think that is actually a product of dealing with a lot of English girls in clubs, because yeah, it was the way I used to get girls was extremely toxic. English guys probably know what I'm talking about here. It's like, where you sort of, you chat them up and stuff, and then you talk to their friend a little, you sort of pretend to be a bit indifferent to them, and then they fight for you a little bit. It's sort of, sometimes, quite often, that can actually work. It's very toxic though. It's very disingenuous. It's just all game playing. But I don't know, maybe it was just a technique that I saw work, I learned it, and I actually had success with it. Somewhere in my mind, sometimes I can come back into my approaches. Not that often though, but you'll, it depends what country you're from, but I think if you're from like UK, US, Europe, you will find there'll be a reflex inside you as you're in an approach, which is like you're talking to the girl, and you might just find her really hot, but at the same time, you're sort of, you're actually trying to keep control of that. You're trying to contain yourself. Whereas what you actually want to do is you want to be somewhat in control, but every so often you want to just let her know, like, yeah, you look amazing. Your eyes are so beautiful. Just, if it's a long interaction, you don't want it to become platonic. So that one, because it was an hour long, I'd say we went between like fun conversation, and then every so often, maybe every 10 minutes or something, not to overdo it, I would just pay her another compliment, physical compliment. And you do have to do that, because otherwise it will peter out into platonic conversation. But if you do that, you're mixing up with like a fun conversation with my intention's obvious. And then at the end, I think like towards the end, I started asking about what she likes to drink, whatever. I can't remember what. No, it was we were leaving the mall. And I said, hold on, I've not even had a drink with you yet. Because she had to go, and I had to go to the supermarket. And then I was like, hold on, I've not even had a drink with you now. I've not even bought you a tequila yet. And she responded positively to that, so we set up the date. And then she messaged me last night. So the main takeaway was, though, honouring the truth of my attraction, accepting there was still a little bit of resistance in me because it was a longer interaction. Maybe the surroundings as well. I'm in a new city, I'm in a mall surrounded by people. I'm alone, I don't have my wings around me. To maintain that, I want to call it like honour. Maintain the honour of my approach. Meaning, no, I am attracted to you, and if you're not interested, that's okay. But this was the energy that's coming through. But if you are interested, and I think you are, let's carry on. That was the kind of energy that's coming through. So yeah, if you've never done any daytime approach before, some of this stuff will just sound really weird to you. If you're an English guy or an American guy or a Canadian guy who's just like, what is this guy going around the tropics? Who the fuck is this guy? And you think, surely it's a piece of piss. You just go over to the girl and you just say, hey, what's up? But what you will realize as you start to do it, if you're a beginner, is there are a lot of programs running in your mind. There are a ton of programs running in your mind about, like, is this okay for me to do? When I met my ex-girlfriend, we were in the same chess club. We went to the same running club. It was a much more like, oh yeah, you take my number, a little bit more flirty, low key. This is not low key. This is not subtle. We are going directly over. But at the same time, do we want to go on a full on like, hey, excuse me, your tits are incredible? You can actually do that, but it's got to be, you've got to judge it. That type of thing. I favour paying the girl a physical compliment, go in with often something clothing, but then like my energy is kind of like very, yeah, I'm obviously into you. And then I'll follow up normally with a couple more physical compliments where it's more about them physically. Let's have a look what people are saying in here. Ethan, I'm in Santiago, Dominican Republic. Sylvia, yeah. I mean, thanks for watching, guys. This is probably not really for a local audience. This is for guys in Europe, really. and UK, North America. So yeah, I was very happy with that approach yesterday. The girl was decently attractive as well. I've approached more attractive girls in the capitals, like approaching models and things like that, and getting some good numbers and things with some good traction. But out here so far, it's been a lot of these numbers have been flaking. A lot of these fit girls have been flaking. I think this is the first one where this was like, this is on, this one's on. But yeah, different culture here. It's just a lot more conservative. I don't know, as the other girls I've been meeting as well, they've always had their friends with them or their mum with them, so. And yeah, this is what I appreciate about the Truth of Cold approach. I think it makes you a better person, it makes you a braver person, it makes you a bolder person. Yeah, it just makes you, it cuts away all the ones and zeros, and you just go, you just go in the direction you want to go, as opposed to waiting and seeking permission and playing. It's mostly mind games you play with yourself. Like, this is mostly it. And most men have a lot of shame around this. I've got like a few comments on some of my shorts. I basically said, being creepy is a bullshit word. It's a bullshit, faggot, American fucking word, yeah? It's one of the worst words in the English language. I have a mixed view of the USA influence on the world. Some ways it's good, some ways it's abysmal. And this word creepy, it's not an English word, right? If a guy's a weirdo, then he's a weirdo, right? But creepy is some gynocentric, feminine primary nonsense of like anything that makes women, potentially could make women uncomfortable, you shouldn't do. Fuck off. Fuck off. Absolute nonsense. If men need to go over to speak to women, which is a biological requirement for the species to propagate, then I'm afraid sometimes they're going to fuck it up. Sometimes the girl isn't going to like it. It is what it fucking is, yeah? Obviously, it cannot descend into sexual harassment, obviously, yeah? But I'm not talking to retards on this channel. I'm only talking to intelligent people. But I think this fear of being creepy, it's so... Because I've shown guys like messages I've sent to girls, and I could never send that, I would be too afraid. And it's like, well, I've just basically told her what I want from her, and she said she wants it. So what was wrong with what I just did? Ultimately nothing. It's actually what you need to do. And women aren't going to tell you this, okay? And by the way, the so-called spokespeople for women this is another thing as well. The young, attractive women, and even the older women who are attractive and normal and have their lives and have their families, they don't get involved in trying to shape the dialogue. The women who shaped the dialogue for the last 50 years, Gloria Steinem, people of that nature in the USA, yeah, all these feminists, they're all lesbian, old, ugly women. That literally all of them are. Yeah, what's she called? Fucking Simone de Beauvoir with her, I read her book, The Second Sex, with her veiny fucking head. So these are all complete reject women who've shaped this culture. And now normal, ascendant, beautiful women are kind of like hypnotized by the words and bitterness and nonsense from all these disgusting old hags. Disgusting old hags. What I find, anyway. Sometimes I get charged. I go on kind of rants. But yeah, so it's something that American men, British men, we don't have it easy either. I actually think we probably have it maybe even harder, because it's a more stuffy, judgmental. At least Americans are loose. They're a bit crazy. But ours is a more stuffy, judgmental culture. People can be very invested in each other's behaviours. The whole tall poppy syndrome is like, if I could summarise like the UK, and particularly my region of the UK, tall poppy syndrome is like, is very common. It's something I think I'm still fighting on some level. That it's like, it's so fucked, isn't it? Because it's like, if you're actually doing well, you're actually setting the example for other people to follow. You're the person who people can try and bring down. they're not going to try and bring down the scumbag loser at the bottom of the fucking barrel. You're going to try and bring down the person who is actually doing well. It's called tall poppy syndrome. There's a lot of that in the deep of the law. Honestly, these fuckers can't drive, man. It's going about fucking hell. Anyway, yeah. So what cold approach does for some guys is it brings this stuff to the fore, and then you're able to handle it and move through it. And stuff that I can do now. Before I'd actually learned daytime approach, I honestly couldn't have dreamt of coming up here to this city and just macking girls in a mall. Like, it's sort of insane, really, and getting numbers and getting dates and stuff routinely. Even like on my first approach, it was on a 4 set of girls in a beauty shop, and I closed the hottest one. It sounds really fucking cool, and it is cool. But I just couldn't have imagined ever doing this like a few years ago. Maybe, you know, I had the club down a little bit. But even that was a little bit gamey, you know. There's a little bit of bullshit games there. Being the cool guy in the club, you know. But that's all irrelevant now. Not necessary. The hood boys. Look at this amazing electrical infrastructure here. I shouldn't moan, actually. It's been pretty good so far. So yeah, so cold approach as a means of accessing the truth, as an expression of the truth. It really is. It really is. And that's going to be individual to each guy. You might actually be a very romantic guy, and basically in your approach you might even be able to say something like, yeah, I'm actually just looking for I just really want a romantic, you know, full-on love affair with a beautiful woman that I'm completely crazy about. If you own that, it's going to go well. Whereas if you like, yeah, I just want to have some raunchy, hard sex with just a hot, again, if you own that, it's going to go well. If you say, you know what I really want? I want a meeting of minds. I want an intelligent woman who is able to provide some stimulating input into my life and not just be a brain dead, you know, a brain dead body. Whatever you say and whatever you want, if you're doing it with true authenticity and it's truthful, yeah. This is what it's all about. Oh my goodness, look at this. Got some pigs on the hog here. What the fuck, dude? But yeah, if you're doing that on a, if you're able to bring that into your approaches, especially as they get longer, but into your dates, into your relationships, this is definitely the way to go. It's definitely the way to go. So when I started out with approach, I started out quite structured, and I still advocate beginning with structure, just so you've got some basic knowledge, which I won't go into here, but there is some structure to the stops, to the positioning, to development of conversation, and to other things you want to be doing as well. There definitely is structure there, but then really the thing that really makes the difference is actually the authenticity. That really is, that's the biggest thing that makes the difference. It's actually almost like the most alpha thing you can do. The middle. The most alpha thing you can do is not a 10,000 pound squat, yeah, or just beat your chest or go and punch someone in the face. Probably one of the most alpha things you can do is just be absolutely honest. Yeah. You need to get used to noise if you come here. This is the quiet. I'm not even joking. This is the quiet neighborhood in a quiet city. I'm not even joking. But yeah, I would say that's probably the most alpha, quote unquote, thing you can do. So all this posing and posturing, it's just, people want human fucking connection, man. People want human connection. That's what the amazing thing about cold approach is. It just shoots straight through it. The girl's just used to all, because they're passive, you know, they're not creating the world. They're just responding to everything. They're responding to all the stimulus. They're going out into, you know, they're putting the dress on, they're going to take the photos, etc. They're all conformist as well. And when you just come in like a fucking comet, just comet of light and truth, your own virility is there anyway. Women feel men. It's like the woman on YouTube talks about it. Men have got like an invisible field of like manly, rugged energy that we all give off. Even if you're a fat guy, you still give that off. So the main thing is we almost don't need to worry about our sex appeal. It's just a given. It's like the women really need to worry about their sex appeal. Like if they're young and hot, like they don't have to worry about what the fuck they're wearing. Or like, who cares? We don't give a shit. We just don't give a fuck. It's almost, if anything, it's just an angle for us to talk to them. But ultimately, we don't really care. Is there anything else? Yeah, so how to take this whole truth and authenticity thing. Mostly it's energetic. Mostly it's like not disguising your attraction. There is... sometimes you can go a bit too sexual too soon. I will say that, where you start to become a bit perverted in your interaction after like 1 minute. That's a little bit too soon. I've done that. I've seen myself do it on video, and it's kind of like I went a bit too familiar, and then the girl just kind of like backed away a little bit. So that's probably something to watch out for. I think in that conversation though, if it had been a 15-minute conversation, I could have then brought that in, no problem. That was, you know, this is when I was doing some filming in Manchester. Sometimes you have to push the boundaries though. You have to push the boundaries, be willing to fail. It's okay to fail. It's absolutely fine. You know, to find where that boundary is, you need to actually push it, and you're much better off going in a more pushing it harder. You just push harder, and then you'll see where the limitations are. So yeah, I don't think we have too many viewers in here today, but the idea was basically just to do a live every day. We'll do another one tomorrow. So yeah, truth, cold approach selects for truth. Truth in relationships, it's just like truth does actually set you free. It actually does. Being as truthful as you possibly can be. I've had this in different negotiations in relationships as well. So much of the game like that I learned when I was in my 20s and just trying to figure, well, what the fuck do I do? So it seems so difficult. So much of it ended up being like all of these bullshit angles of like fakeness, that when you pile them all on top of each other, it actually works. But like you live in an insane world of like smoke and mirrors and illusions when you do that. This is why, yeah, at 37, I didn't want to, I'm 40 now, I didn't want to live in that world anymore. I wanted to live in a natural, organic world and be myself. And go and get the go and just basically come what may. And so yeah, this is, I mean, I've seen guys online going, basically who, you know, they advocate, you know, cultivating like this absolutely insane level, like Instagram and social media and you know, Tinder and all this type of stuff. Having a look at the pictures, they're literally the level of chicanery in it And so on the one hand, to give the devil its due, that it is, if you take it to an absolutely extreme level, it actually can be really good. Like, obviously, if you've got like some insane James Bond cinema-esque profile, women are gonna take note of that. They definitely are gonna take note of it. But at the same time, the guy's advice was like, yeah, you want your Instagram profile to be like, you want them to be natural photos of like, are you just going about your day-to-day stuff, and like every single one is him in front of a Ferrari or mates like overlooking this ridiculous river. You know, you're intentionally, you're cultivating like a nonchalant image when it's completely structured and it's completely contrived, and it does actually work, but it's kind of like that Instagram profile has probably cost you about, well, if you put the car in, if it's yours, it's a $500,000 car. If you take the professional photographers and your outfits that you're wearing, even take the car out of it, it's a 10 grand Instagram profile, minimum 10 grand. Yeah. So like, how practical is that for most guys, you know? And I think if it's not on that level, like, is it really even, I don't know, it's probably not doing anything for you. I think cold approach is definitely the way forward. It is something I'm going to look into though, at the same time, like, I think it could maybe for honestly, for girls that I don't really give a shit about but would like to bang, I think that's probably the bracket, to be honest, that will be taken in by that. Well, fuck it, if they're taken in by it, I'll take them in. But yeah, in terms of like meeting the girl I'm gonna be with, I just think daytime in the wild, being truthful, authentic, is such a better way to live. Even the thought of like, you know, even the thought of like doing all of that stuff to get like a really good Instagram profile and then putting it on Tinder, so it does make me feel slightly nauseous. Like, I mean, how faggotized men have become. But I understand, because it's like, it's kind of like adapt or don't adapt, you know. So my approach has just become an absolute animal in daytime approach. That's my adaptation. Is to basically say, oh, that's the chessboard, is it? Fuck off, I'm tipping it over. We're gonna play this. We're gonna play this game. Yeah, we can play slaps. Yeah, that was my approach to it. And you know, I don't even know, like, I looked at it, was because I was curious about this the other day, like, what are the coaches out there saying? Of course, the client told me, and there was a guy in the live actually told me how much they were charging. I thought, Jesus Christ, for essentially being I don't know, like a media, I don't know, even like a media producer or something, really help you with women that much. And I'm looking at the guy's messages and stuff, and he's just doing all the same toxic shit I used to do to girls, like, oh yeah, make sure you're the prize, neg them, all this bullshit. And I looked at even the girls that he was like showing, and then he was like subtly insinuating that he fucked them. And I was like, to be honest, she looks busted, man. She's like a fucking, I think you could do better. She was maybe an American 7.5, international 6. Yeah, and this was a guy coaching, so, and a guy who's obviously put masses of effort, insane amounts of effort into that whole media photography stuff. I definitely think for a serious relationship like your wife, I mean, really, it's much better if you can meet her in the wild, out there in person. And the last thing I'll say with cold approach as well is, don't get trapped. Guys who come into it and they want to try it, do not get trapped. I still go out for training purposes. I run drills and stuff. It's to make sure that my coaching is absolute premium. For, you know, it's basically every 6 months I'm getting better, and so the coaching is just getting better and better and better. But you don't want to be in the streets for like 10 years. You know, it's not the way to go. You get the skills from the streets, You get dates on the streets. You build your confidence that you're an independently wealthy man at this point. You don't need anything. You don't need Instagram. You don't even really need a social circle. But you're independently wealthy. And then from that position, you move forward and you bring it into other areas of your life. So, you know, don't just cold approach women. Talk to guys as well. I was in a business meeting yesterday. I don't think anything will come of it, but it was still a very interesting meeting. Who I just kind of, I won't say I cold approached the guy, but he was in a coffee shop and he was paying at the same time as me. And I can't remember, we just talked. And he was quite quick off the mark as well. So we kind of approached each other really. And got talking, and then eventually we had our business meeting yesterday. So this is the other side to it, is using these skills, using them to boost your networking confidence, your network face to face, using the approach skills when you in your social circle. So when you're going out to clubs, if you can approach in the daytime, you can definitely approach in clubs. When you're going out to in your social life, when you're in events, you should be absolutely dominating, you know, because if you can go over to a girl in the middle of the street, tell her she's gorgeous, I'm damn sure you can do it when you're at an event where you know all the girls have got dressed up to try and impress at the event. I'm damn sure you can do it there. So yeah, use the skills. It's like taking steroids for your social life, and then you go back in and you're just like, well, I'm just lifting up this chair. That's the equivalent of doing an approach at a social event. I just picked up the chair, you know. And you're so seasoned, you're so used to these. Even if you still get nervous, maybe because it's a crowd that you know and you feel more self-conscious, you're so used to those little nerves that you'll just do it anyway because you've done it 1,000 times. Yeah, it's nerves. Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna survive. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, use the skills in other arenas, and that's the kind of next phase I'm moving into now, is starting to cultivate, because now I know the places I want to spend my time. I've been traveling around for the last 6 years. Now I really know my favorite places, and yeah, sure, there's other places that'll be good as well, but I know fundamentally where I want to spend my time. And so for me now, it's also about not just staying in the streets, the barrios, in the malls, actually, you know, going and developing like better social circles here where I am right now, in 1 or 2 other countries that I spend time in as well. So that's my journey. That's where I am. This is the direction I'm going in. We'll see. When will I be the finished article? When I've inseminated Miss Universe, the winning contestant of Miss Universe, maybe I'm the finished article then. But it's an ongoing thing. You level up. You know, if you're a beginner, like, you've got so much scope for growth. And each new level you unlock, you realize, oh, now this might unlock even hotter girls, better connections. It might unlock a, you know, future mother of your children, etc., etc. So yeah, there's so much room for growth. The guys I'm really looking for on this channel are the guys who they've already got a lot of the boxes ticked, and what they really need is, what they're really lacking at the moment is just knowledge, just literally knowledge of, because I know what it was. It's like literally, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do a cold approach in the day. What am I actually mechanically supposed to do? That was the first step, and actually that knowledge is not obvious as well. Some of it's counterintuitive as well. That area of knowledge, I know it inside out now. It's literally secret knowledge as well. The few guys who are actually good at it, I know most of them, and I've winged with most of them. And even some guys online who are coaching this, I promise you, they're not that good. There's some guys who are coaching, and I watch their sets and go, if this is on camera, you've done a few things wrong here, dude. Some of them, like, really obvious things as well. Harder on camera, to be honest. It's not as easy on camera, but you can always do the fundamentals right, no matter what. So it is kind of secret knowledge. It's a kind of secret brotherhood, really, you're getting access to. And yeah, I'll just finish on this. The guys that you surround yourself with, part of this in this channel is building up essentially a gang, building up a gang of internationally minded guys who also want to master their dating lives as well. And in the long term, if you understand what that vision is, it gives you a lot more than just a girl. It gives you a lifestyle. It gives you a brotherhood. That is ultimately what I'm building here, and all the ancillary things that go along with that as well. That is ultimately the direction this is going to go. And you want to be around those kind of guys. As he's probably, I don't know if he's in or not, but yeah, another coach, Balthus, he was just sharing today a few things about basically encountering guys who are, you know, they have such a pitiful level of access to women, such a non-existent level, such complete poverty, mostly because they lack knowledge, and so they'll almost do anything to try and like steal his girl, like the most desperate, sad, loserish things, weaselish things. And so yeah, I really want to only really even be around guys who are good, you know, because otherwise, you know, these little weasels who you think, oh, he's a nice guy. No, the nice guy will try and steal your girlfriend. He won't succeed because he'll be stupid, but guys who've actually already got the access, guys who are doing well for themselves, even if they could, they won't. It's just completely not, it's just not done, you know. I think of like, yeah, most of my friends' girlfriends, I even if I really like them, like in terms of they come around with my friend and I enjoy talking to them, I'm never taking their phone number, ever. I'll never have their phone number. And in those very rare occasions when that's happened, it's always been basically because I know the girl better than the guy does. So there's girls from Salsa, basically. I know the girl, like, seen at Salsa all the time. When my mate starts seeing her, and I can still engage with this girl, but my loyalty is 100% with my mate. So sometimes the girl even asks me stuff about him, and I just completely give a blank answer, and she goes, "You're a really good friend," as in to my mate, yeah, because my loyalty is to my mate. But those are so rare, those occasions where I've got a friend's girlfriend's number. I can only think of 2 ever in my entire life. So those are just occasions that should never happen. It's just not something that should happen. So yeah, you want to be around good guys who are like, oh yeah, go for that girl, she's hot, but there's like millions, you know, that's fine. Guys who've got options and who've actually got a decent character, who don't need to try and steal your girl because they're living in complete poverty. Happens a lot, man. Happens a lot. You forget when you are very proactive. You forget most guys aren't, and happened to me a couple of times as well. Guys would try and steal a girl, and I honestly, I didn't care about the girl, and even the guy, I thought, bro, you're so useless. Even this girl, you're not gonna get her. You can try. It was like with one particular friend, I even understood it because like he sees me going around with different girls. I'm not some crazy level playboy, but I have different girls around, and he doesn't have anyone, and I've not seen him with anyone for years. So this one girl who shares some of his interests, who I brought around, yeah, you know what? He had a slight angle on her, but I didn't mind at all. It's like, yeah, it's honestly fine. It's honestly fine. But it was like, it's just human nature, man. It's human nature. But if you're around good guys, in that guy's case, he'd never done anything like that before. It's like maybe he's actually in love with that girl. But if you're around decent guys, that's never gonna happen. Okay, it's like, let's say my best mate, if he's with, or my mates, like my actual friends, if he's with the hottest girl literally on earth, and she's oiled up, she's stripping in front of me, I'm not gonna fuck her. I'll just be like, what are you doing? Get out of here, you idiot. Go get lost. You need to wait for my friend. Even if she came onto me, I still wouldn't take it. That's just how I am. It's just like, there is something called honor, yeah? And then the other thing as well is if you think about, you know, your friends as well as being friends, they're also allies as well. So I always just think it's stupid. Like, this is a typical Latino thing. Haitians do the same thing. It's so stupid. They'll fuck over their best mate for a girl. It's like, yeah. This is honestly, this is why I think Europeans conquered this entire continent, because they'll fuck over their best mate for a girl. They'll like shoot, they're like a lifelong friendship for a chick. Whereas an intelligent bunch of European guys will go, why don't we just work together? Then we'll just take, instead of fighting over this one, why don't we just take all 50 of those? All 4 of us, we'll just take all 50 of them. Why don't we do that? Sound good? Yeah, it sounds like a plan, yeah? It's just like, obviously, probably just, Latinos don't do that though, to be honest. I think some black guys do, but I don't know, I think they also do fuck each other over quite a bit as well. Obviously white guys do as well. But it's such a Latino thing to do that. Try to fuck your best mate's girlfriend. It's so stupid. Yeah, it's so counterproductive. You're fighting over nothing when you could take everything if you just work together. So a lot of it is just, you know, work together. So just on the way back up to the old apartment, we'll just start to wind this live down. I've got to start work soon. But yeah, we'll see how this experiment goes, a December live experiment. We'll see how it goes. So boys, hopefully it's been useful. These are unscripted, so completely just freestyling. But yeah, cold approach. Truth is an aphrodisiac. Truth is an aphrodisiac, boys. Massively so. The best truths you can say, this is the last thing I'll say here, best truths you can say are ones that are socially unacceptable. That really gets the girl turned on. In a deep level, and let me tell you why. Because socially unacceptable, what you're saying is, I've got bigger balls than everyone else here. I've got bigger balls than the whole of society. I don't care, I'm impermeable to external bullshit. Yeah, so if you're able to say with your girl uncomfortable truths that no one should say, or just like you can pierce through the social bullshit, that's really what gets them turned on. They, on a level they can't even understand, they're basically compelled to get with you, because you are kind of proving the whole status thing. Like, what's the point being high status if it's all fucking fake? It's all based on fakery and bullshit. Yeah. The ultimate status is where you just like, no, I'm not playing these bullshit games. This is what I think, this is the truth. Or, you know, however you communicate it, it can be done in a light way, yeah? But when you say socially transgressive things are also true, it's actually very attractive. It's also why it can be very easy to pull in the West, because there's so many things that are taboo, that are so stupid. Anyone can just basically call them out now. They're so obvious. So actually can use that to your advantage. Use the woke bullshit to your advantage. It's so easy and obvious, right? It's a bit of it's like, yeah, it's an open goal for us, boys. But yeah, transgressive truths they get women like, they can almost, in of themselves, but if you also combine that with other things that I talk about on this channel, you can have women who are just like, in a frenzy over you. All they think about is you. They want to fuck you all the time. The idea that, you know, everyone's girlfriend's going to cheat on them, that's just not true. It's not true. The girl's got a head. If she's intelligent, she meets a guy who's a rare catch, and he's actually doing some of the stuff in the bedroom that I talk about on this channel. She's going to become completely obsessed with you. Other guys they're not even going to feature. It's not even relevant. Brad Pitt or whoever could come in, it's not relevant. It's really not relevant. So there's too much fear about girls cheating on. I've got girls being faithful to me that I fucking left 2 years ago, and I know they're still being faithful to me. It almost concerns me, right? Because where are they getting the dose from? Where are they getting this dose from? Yeah, I'm nothing special. But I just have special knowledge. I have underground knowledge that I use and deploy, and it's almost terrifying, because you're like, yeah, you actually need to move on. Yeah? I've had girls say this to me,
with not being able to be with someone for the last 2 years since we broke up. Yeah, it's the loyalty that can be inspired in them. It's when you're in a different category because you're firing off in all these different ways, all this stuff in their brain that on a deep level is so attractive. And most of it's just being truthful. It's the most alpha thing you can ever fucking do. It's being truthful. So I don't agree with this whole like, oh, women are all hypergamous. Come around my women. Come and try and steal my fucking girlfriend. Go ahead. Girls I don't even want who are just obsessed with me. Go ahead, try and steal her. Go ahead. You'll just disappoint her. Yeah. Even if you're Mr. fucking whoever, Mr. Giga Chad, I guarantee you'll just disappoint her. So there's maybe the 1 in a million guys out there who actually gets this stuff. Okay, fine. Yeah, maybe, but still. They have like after a certain point, a woman has an imprinting in her psyche of the guy that she either has had a child with or she should have had a child with, her ultimate guy. You don't have to be perfect at all. You can be extremely flawed, yeah? And women can be imprinted for decades. I've had girls tell me this type of stuff about girls I'm not seeing about some ex-boyfriend from like 15 years ago. It's an imprinting that lasts for decades. So really, whoever has that girl afterwards, she still belongs to that other guy from back in the day. What you want to be, you want to be the guy doing the imprinting, not the guy getting the leftovers. So boys, as a final rant there, stay in the truth, boys, stay in the truth. I'll see you boys in the next one. I'll be back in tomorrow, yeah, for a short live.